guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I have a familiar face back with me today, my good friend IndigoAngel. And today we're going to be talking about her update on Iran, Greenland, and planetary grid work. I titled it Esoteric Perspectives in a Shifting World. And I wrote, on this episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast, I'm joined by IndigoAngel for a deep esoteric and metaphysical discussion exploring recent world events through the lens of planetary grid work, Stargate theory, and energetic systems. IndigoAngel will share her interpretive perspective on reports of a power blackout in Iran viewed symbolically through grid and Stargate frameworks, the concept of Stargate 10 as described in the Esoteric and Guardian Alliance teachings, how energetic shifts may be experienced subjectively and by sensitive individuals, the role of Greenland in planetary grid models often associated with Earth's crown or polar axis, why polar regions hold symbolic and energetic importance in both spiritual and geopolitical narratives. This conversation is not a political analysis or news report, but an exploration of spiritual interpretation, symbolic meaning, consciousness-based models of reality. As always, listeners are encouraged to think critically, and you guys are gonna love this. And a little bit more about my guest. IndigoAngel is a spiritual teacher, intuitive, and author whose work focuses on planetary grid systems, consciousness evolution, metaphysical interpretations, and global events. She's the author of The Guardian Alliance, Gridwork and New Earth Prophecy, which outlines her framework for understanding Earth's energetic architecture, Stargate systems, and long-term planetary transformation cycles. IndigoAngel also offers personal sessions centered on healing, chakra alignment, and spiritual integration, J-seal removals, and regularly shares updates and teachings within her online community. And you can follow her at indigoangel222.com or at her YouTube page, which is youtube.com/indigoangel. And I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Indy, thanks so much for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing good, Rob. Thank you so much for having me back on. That was an amazing, in-depth, fabulous introduction into everything we're going to be talking about tonight. So I really appreciate that so much. They're just getting better and better, I have to say, every time I come on.
I smiled because it's funny because I just saw you last night. You know what I, you know what I mean? But it's like, but this is great. I love it. Because we didn't get into this stuff last night, so this is really good. You know.
Yeah, we touched on it briefly. But I think it's all just coming to the surface more and more. That movie just came out on January 9th, Greenland to Migration, and I had to go see that because I really had to kind of dive into this Clark crater and figure out, what is this all about? So, yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to it, and I think that Hollywood is clearly signaling some future timelines and some probabilities and things that tie into new and future Earth prophecy. And my voice is going out. From a grid work perspective, Greenland, it's really, on the 3D level, we think it's all about the real estate. We think it's all about the oil. If you've been following along with what Trump is saying about it, like clearly it comes across as it's about security, national security. But I really think there's a much deeper spiritual awakening that's happening, and that it's really about crown node sovereignty, and that it's really this global awakening that has to do with the crown grid of the planet. And Greenland represents the crown. It's the most northern land continent, and it's extraordinarily extensive in what it means to the planet and all of the geomantic science of the Earth. Because essentially all of the global ley lines and all of the telluric currents on the planet essentially curve towards Greenland. It hosts all of the polar auroras, so it actually contains the Guardian Aurora host, which is it's like the command of the incarnating Andromedan races. And really, I feel what's come down through the Polarian races and also the Hyperborean races. So there's like a convergence there with all of the past timelines previous to Lemuria, and our ancient beginnings. Like, I really think that Greenland holds the records to the electric wars, and it's just so vast what's there. I mean, it really seems so hidden and covered up to us because obviously it's covered in ice, but It's extensive what's there, and that's what I've been breaking down more and more on my channel is, what's underneath those crystal vaults, ice sheets essentially, and what are all of the other portals and gateways that are there that are really sustaining the entire planetary like functionality of its energetic systems. And I think this is why it's called the crown, is because it's um doing all of the planetary autonomous functioning that, people who live down here in the lower hemispheres don't even think about what has to be regulated up at the North Pole. You know what I mean? So Greenland is really fundamental. And so whoever controls Greenland essentially controls Earth's signal, from a geopolitical level all the way to having some sort of control and authority even over, like future prophecy and things like this. They're literally controlling the Earth's signal on so many levels. So it's
Wow.
huge. It's huge.
It's huge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's really, really big.
Uh,
Um, yeah, so I mean, and I think I spoke to you earlier on the phone and I was talking about I think that this, like, when we think about Trump talking about this and him bringing this up and it seeming kind of strange, and I think when he first started throwing it out there, which was in 2019 and again in 2025, people were like, "Is this coming from left field? Like, why is he even like this is absurd?" It seemed kind of crazy. But now I think honestly, we might be needing to look at the timeline and the impact that we might be witnessing in 2026, like an actual invasion of our US military going in and taking over Greenland. Like, because
so,
there's a lot of things getting thrown around. Yeah,
do you think he knows what's at stake at Greenland?
for sure. For sure. There's got to be, obviously, what I first seen psychically was that they already have the invasion of Greenland planned out to a T. They already have it planned out to a T. They know exactly what they're going to do and when they're going to do it if certain things don't happen. I think they really are going to go in there and do whatever's necessary. Just like you're already starting to see a lot of these bold moves. He went in and did the Maduro thing. I do believe he actually sent military over to Nigeria with the slaughtering of all the Christians, and so on and so forth. I mean, he's getting involved in Iran, which they're currently in like a 14-day blackout where like no media is getting in or out of that country. And they're going through a complete revolt of their Willy Wonka system. Basically, all of the mosques are getting burned down to the ground. So I think there is a massive grid reset that is happening at SS10. Remember on the last show we did with Carrie
Wait,
Cassidy,
break down for people what's SS10, so they know.
yeah, it's a planetary control node essentially. It's where the draconian apex and hive essentially resides. It's where there's a lot of patriarchal overlays. It's where they're controlling, you know, um, planetary identity. It's where they're controlling who gets to make the rules, the laws, the beliefs in God, period.
Forced breeder programs.
Yes, forced breeder programs, everything. It's hybridization programs and traumas. And
Throwing acid into women's faces.
yep,
They do
yes.
do that. I mean, it's not a lie,
Yeah.
And they also do marry young women. I mean, not women. Let's be honest. They marry children, right? I mean, that's what Gene Decode said when we did that show with them. He said they marry like young girl, like it's sickening. It's like it's pedophilia.
Basically every, barbaric thing you can think of, it's happening out of the SS-10 taken over gate site. It's an energy vortex that's basically operating in a reversal, or it's funneling energy into a death cycle, a death funnel, or into, the underworld, or even into harvesting systems like beast machines and spike matrix and just harvesting parallels and harvesting egregores that they use through like ancient Templars and things like this that they harvest through the astral. And they also harvest through these gate systems through the dream realm. Remember, we did that show where we talked about
About how
the,
the reptilians are harvesting the dream realm. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So there's like massive, Stargate tethering devices that is on SS-10. So it's just, it's a little
Do you
crazy.
think Stargate 10 was originally in Iraq, but then it got repositioned to Iran? Do you think, or where do you think it's always been in Iran, or how did it?
The original SS-10 was Temple Mount.
Here's the reason why I say that is because unless there's another Stargate in Iraq. Because remember when they said we were going into Iraq for not the first war, but the second. Well, you were probably young for the first war, but the second war, the one that we were when 9/11 happened. They said that the reason why the U.S. military went in there was for in our community, they said it was for Stargate access. So they thought there was a Stargate in Iraq too, or do you think it's a shared Stargate, or what do you think?
Well, the Stargates govern regions of land, right? They govern multiple vortices. They govern multiple uh, waters and rivers and lakes. Like it's a very vast. It governs an entire region essentially. And I think what makes SS-10 so powerful is that it actually it links into a four quadrant vortice system that actually it's Iran, which is the east gate. Giza, which is the west gate, the northern gate is Göbekli Tepe, and the south gate is um, Mecca, or I'm sorry, the Kaaba. And so if you actually draw a line between those, you will get a perfect cross. And not only that, it's sitting within the African Rift as well, in the Rift Zone. And the Rift Zone it's the deepest level of separation on a grid work level that the Earth technically embodies. So it is also another reason why so much warfare and so much, separation and division and, hell on earth basically plays out over in the Middle East is because they're sitting in the rift. And, land consciousness equates to human consciousness and human behavior. And so that I think all of those, perfect storm alignments essentially is what gives SS-10 its power in some ways and in a reversal patterning. Um, but, you know, according to Greenland, going back to that just a little bit, I was telling you about with Trump and talking about this, I think this goes back to the Nazis, ultimately.
Wait,
And it's
Indy, I need you to do something. I need just keep talking to the audience. I'll be right back. I just got to do something real quick. I'll be right back.
okay,
Go,
okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm gonna check the chat really quick too.
Yeah. Check the chat there. Yeah, guys, talk to Indy. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
hey guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. We love you guys so much. And be sure to put a big like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, hit that notifications bell if you haven't. Um, but yeah, no, I'm talking about how this started, not just with Trump, but this goes back to the Nazis. The Nazis were the ones that ultimately had the obsession with Hyperborea. And I think that they went on a quest to locate the high north and to place their symbols and their codes and their tracker tags and, their whatever into the high north. And so, honestly, the first quest for Greenland did come down through the Nazis, where they actually put together something called it was the Thule, the Ultima Thule, if anyone's heard of that, the Ultima Thule, but it's some sort of device that they placed up there. And I don't know if this was a monitoring device, a magnetic device, something that they anchored up there. Um, you know, and I think this ties into the Draco seals and the Draco implants in the planet and, where they place their control devices, essentially. So whatever is in that high northern location, it's gonna be it's because the Nazis were the first um, race to basically be approached by the Dracos and to be in alignment and be working with the Dracos. So I think they placed Draco seals there in the northern region, and one of them was called the Ultima Thule. So yeah, working with um, UFO technology, time anomalies where they can occur, and also weather engineering.
What were you
One
getting
thing that
into?
they,
You getting into what you told me earlier about how Hitler was tracking down some of that occult stuff? Like,
yeah, yeah.
sorry, I had to do
Yeah,
something real quick. I'm sorry.
yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah. Um, I was talking about that. The Nazis. They were the first, race to be contacted by the Dracos, really, which is like the Aryan race. So I think they opened up Aryan portals, and I think they went searching for the Hyperborean gate system that's up there. Now, but then I think they went up there and they opened, some sort of Aryan gateway, right? And but they placed draconian seals or implants and devices in the northern pole because they knew that the high north was where they needed to have grid control stations, basically, right? So that way they could do things like, you know, have more contact with UFOs or secret meetings or whatever, um, with inner Earth beings or even beings beyond the ice wall type of thing. And then they're also doing stuff with time anomalies, and shifting and altering that. I mean, just from channeling and doing remote viewing in people's energetic structures and holographic body, when I see Draco seals, I see a lot of like alterations of time. So I think that that would have been something they would have placed. But it's just interesting to me that the Nazis, I think, were the first ones to go after this, and like try to conquest it, so to speak, on a spiritual level. And I also think Trump's conquest for Greenland is some sort of spiritual awakening as well, whether that's aligned to the good timelines, the high timelines, or the descending timelines. It's all for us to watch it play out essentially. But I do think that this ties into the Dove Light Grid prophecies and also Turtle Island, with Greenland being considered Turtle Island, like the head crown of Turtle Island. So I mean, it's very interesting, right? There's so much that goes into this. It's like we could go in 1,000 directions.
Yeah.
Uh, but I have the map.
Oh shit. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Let's go to your map. I love how you have those maps. Like, but do I have to let you share screen? How do I?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm Dora the Explorer.
That's hilarious. Wait, I think you got to request it.
Funny,
I don't
kind
know
of
how to do this. I don't know how to use Zoom. I hate this. Like, I mean, I don't hate it, but I mean, I don't. There we go. Thanks. Thanks. All right. Thank you. That was easy.
fun. It is easy. Oh wait, let me. Oh wait. Okay. Oh wait, I have to screen share, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, but do you see how everything's just coming out of me tonight? Like word salad. Like I get that so much, the whole word salad thing. And I don't know. It's really hard to
It's
unpack
not a
my
bad.
brain
I
sometimes.
see. I don't think. I think people that say word salad are people that don't understand it. That's why they're saying word salad because they don't understand what you're saying. But if you take some time and you re-listen to it, because like obviously we're talking a little bit faster because it's a podcast and stuff. But like if someone listens to this like a couple times, sometimes like your information's deep. You know what I mean? And like I sometimes have to go back and listen to it like once or twice or maybe even three times, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I see what she's saying. What I mean? It's not for like this is not like surface level material. This isn't like beginner level stuff. You know what I mean? This is like next level. The people that are watching us right now, this isn't their first rodeo. I mean, well, some people it is, but I mean, most people that tune into my channel know who you are and they know what to expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's very true. Thanks for saying that. Um, and I can't like go back down any further, if you know what I mean, because I just am where I am.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so what I think is significant about Greenland is the glaciers. And this has come through like the Guardian, I call it the Guardian lexicon. I'm coming up with new things to say all the time here, but yeah, it just means like Guardian language. But this what I gathered was that the glaciers were like sentinels and that they held a lot of the ancestral memory. So I mean, this is very significant to the organic grid here, but it's basically holding like a vault or an Akashic data record because all of that frozen ice equals to time. And if you think about water in itself, like it holds memory, and you have a bunch of frozen water from past pre-cataclysmic timelines. I mean, it is just like a total record vault. But I think within that, it holds also the pole shifts, the ancestral migrations, solar radiation cycles. So I think that's just a significant element of that. And you can see there's an entire ice sheet on here, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think that this is some sort of protective layer. So I'm going to go to this. So this
Oh,
is like,
that was Hyperborea, right? Or is that what that was? Like Hyperborea? There's
um,
the one with the picture of the
e-
northern lights.
Yeah, this one. So I'm calling this the North Polar Access Vortex. It's the primary crown gate.
No.
Yeah, the aurora lights. You can see all the pictures here. Um, and what I was telling you earlier, this also leads into Asgard,
Yeah.
is what's considered in Norse, right? But it's really just like the road to heaven, basically, like where the gods reside. So, there's that, but there's so much more to this. Polar Gate, the Northern Polar Gate, this is very significant. Um, I don't think this is where I think this is part of the access into the Hyperborean gate system, but I think there's other locations in Greenland that hold that. I think this is more of like a solar logos gateway, a galactic core gateway. I think that this is where, we receive the flow of the aurora plasma, and I think this is where it stabilizes, you know, just the whole magnetosphere. And I also think that this is where I literally think that these aurora rays, this is where it's anchoring like royal divine law into the planet. So this, it brings in all of the Christos Sophia light distribution that actually goes into the global grid system. It's literally anchoring in all of the swan dove bridging systems basically of the highest light that comes into the planet. So it's very significant. Um, this portal here. Um, but also,
I know someone who lives up there. Someone that comes on this show, like actually, like lives up in that area. Like,
wow.
have you ever heard of Ola Wolny?
Mm-mm.
She's from like Poland, but she took residence up there. You know what I mean? She does retreats up there and stuff like that, up in that area, like the art. I guess you would. I can't remember exactly where, but I know it's up where the Northern Lights are, and I can't remember exactly, but like it's yeah, someone in the audience might know, but yeah, it's a fascinating area. It really is.
Yeah, that's so powerful. Yeah. Well, it's so funny. After we got off your birthday show, Miss you was like immediately sent me the cruise to Greenland.
Yeah, we should do that. I mean, why don't we do it? I mean, that's another thing. I was like, if we're gonna do an event, why don't we should do a cruise, right? Like a cruise would be cool too, right? Like,
Your cruise would be cool. Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know if I get
no,
seasick. I've never been on a
I
cruise.
don't know why, but I'm like,
Have
I'm
you ever
kind
been
of,
on a cruise?
no, I never have
Me
been.
neither.
Yeah, I might be afraid of him. There's a reason why I've stayed away all this time. He's 39 years on Earth.
Hey, maybe you were an ex. Maybe you had a past life in Titanic. Maybe you're part of the Titanic.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Okay, so yeah, the crystalline vault, the ice sheet. This is really fascinating. That is literally like one big sheet of ice that you see over it when you see it covered with that. Um, so yeah, I think this is like it's a natural radiation shield. I think it's a frequency filter. I think it's protecting collective consciousness. Um, and just protecting the earth from interference and distortion. So I think it's a protective shield, definitely. Um, Now this is very interesting. The Fords, I believe it's the Fords here. Yeah, these do a lot with the energy, with the flow of energy. So this has to do with plasma inflow systems in the planet as well. Um, this what this okay, I think if I go back to the map, this one, it's either this or the Illisat. I think it was the Illisat. Let me go back. The Illisat, yeah, no, it's the Illisat. This is what's the most interesting thing I think to point out, actually. Um, Cryoplasma release gate. So I want to show you what this looks like on the map. It's like if you go up here to this area in the center here, all this broken up glaciers or yeah, ice pieces in the water, basically.
Hmm.
I mean, doesn't that actually look really cool?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so that's like a whole like a spiritual complex that's there, right? Like there's a lot that's actually doing. Um, this one has to do with like emotional flow. It has to do with um, yeah, timekeeping and things like this. It's basically like a portal. I mean, it's definitely a portal, and it's holding cryoplasma Stargate energy in there. Um, this is connected to the Atlantic grid. It's to balance the emotional equilibrium on the planet as well. So, I mean, that's really interesting to me, though, that, each one of these architectures are holding such significant, energetic, dynamic things that they do to keep the ecosystem, to keep the spiritual and energetic balance in place. So that's definitely a portal and gateway. Now, this was the one that you were looking at where you're like Hyperborea. Yeah, so there's a Hyperborean gate that's up there. And
Yeah.
I think this is probably one of the most significant things, to be honest with you, because of Hyperborean history, which we don't really know a lot about. We know some things about Hyperborea.
Yeah, not a lot, right? There's a couple books written and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, I think Rudolf Steiner, Blavatsky, I mean, all people in which, Hitler followed. I think he followed Blavatsky for sure. Um, so that's interesting. But
let me look
yeah,
up books on Hyperborea. I want to see what I never really. Uh,
well, I think it has to do with like when, like, okay, like the fall of Eden, like the fall of man. Like I think this came from Hyperborea, the
yeah,
electric wars.
check this out. You're gonna love this. I gotta send you this title. There's a book titled Atlantis, Hyperborea, and the Thule, like you were saying about the Thule, and it's yeah by Mauricio Enriqueo de Graia. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I think this is where the Dracos place time distortion devices and block the Hyperborean gateway. To be honest with you, like as if there was a doorway to the outer ice outside the outer ice wall, like they stuck some sort of device there, some sort of deterring magnetic anomaly, that Ultima Thule, that they put that there to, keep people away from it and also lock us in this time construct because I also think this has something to do with the moon being placed, the artificial satellite to kind of govern our gravitational flow and all of this and like, distort things. And I think this is when they hooked in the moon chains and things like that, that it comes back to the Hyperborean race, the original seeding that was, you know, um, ran through that. Like they were put through all that through the invasion and through all the warring conflicts essentially because I do know that there was like a Holocaust that happened during the Hyperborean timeline. So yeah, and I think if this was to unthaw, like we would receive all Hyperborean records. It would basically come back to us. In some way, this is the crown, but I also think this is about unthawing of the heart as well, like the frozen parts of humanity, coming back to their original roots and also the tragedy, because I think Hyperboreans go back to like Greek tragedy mythology, like everything that you've seen with all of I don't know if you go and you see like those pictures of like all the mythical creatures being banished and
Yeah.
like killed and murdered and like all this stuff. I think that's the tale of Hyperborea, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Like the Greek tragedies, the Titans, the Olympians, all of that goes back to that. And
Like the Hyperborea.
Hyperboreans were large. They were very big. They were like giants, you know? They were
Do
the
you think
giants.
they could be like a descendant of the Anunnaki or something like that?
I feel like this history goes back further than them, to be honest with you.
Like for
Like millions of years. Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah. But it replays itself into every root race, basically. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Hyperboreans were the first ones to take on the moon chains from, all of the yeah, stuff that was installed, planetary weaponry that was installed by predatorial races, basically. But yeah, so I mean, I think that there's a hyper strong, powerful Hyperborean gateway. This could be, part of the conquest, as Trump tries to conquer the land of Greenland. Annex Greenland.
I don't think it'll be that big of a. I was trying to tell you this. I was kind of joking around, but I was like, I saw who runs Greenland. It's like Denmark. I'm like, man, I don't think we would have too. I don't think the United States would have too much of a problem just like kind of coasting in there and taking that if they wanted it, right? Or what do you think there's like more powers behind Denmark that are trying to keep that out of US hands?
Absolutely. I think that the Prime Minister Keir Starmer has already threatened Trump that if he even tries to do this, that they're preparing military.
Wow.
So I mean,
Prime
it
Minister
I
of
think
Denmark?
yeah, or Prime Minister of the UK, Keir
What?
Starmer.
The
Keir Starmer.
UK? They're supposed to
Yeah,
be like our best friends, right?
yeah. But there's certain there's certain lines, I guess, that they draw. You know what I mean? Yeah, Keir Starmer was saying that if Trump even tries to do this, that they're going to, you know, get their military. But I think it's smoke screens. I think it's bluffing. Honestly, it's bluffing. Like I think that to be honest with you, Europe is somewhat in a weakened state. Um, in a lot of levels, like you know, their people don't want to fight for Europe. They don't want to fight for Europe. I mean, good luck enlisting people, you know? I mean, they're kind of, I mean, this is just what I gather from, reading and looking at things online too. So but it seems like I think that Trump is going to keep pushing, 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 pushing on everything. At some point, he's going to meet some resistance.
Yeah.
Just when and where is that going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Greenland might be what draws that because there's already like, Russian submarines up there and Chinese submarines up there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
at what point is it's gonna, we'll
It's
have
gonna
to
pop
see.
off, is what you're saying. You think
Yeah.
shit's gonna pop off?
Yeah, I think this is a global flashpoint. Greenland is a global flashpoint. And what I mean by global flashpoint is that whatever happens here next is going to determine a different trajectory and outcome for the entire globe. Like it's that big. You
Wow.
know? Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. Also, the inner Earth interface here as well, like things that are going into inner Earth and hollow Earth. Like this is there's, a huge inner Earth gateway system here. If not, I mean, there's a lot of inner Earth gateways all over the planet, but
Yeah.
mostly in places where there are you know, high dimensional gate systems, like Greenland probably houses guardian stargates. Okay, so you have universal stargates, so that are like 12 to 24 to 36 dimensional, 48 dimensional, probably even higher than that. But Guardian Stargates are like 144 dimensional gate systems. Greenland, I mean, I haven't been there boots on the ground to like read this myself. That's how I would like confirm that, like very specifically, but just connecting in with what I'm seeing here, very much Guardian sanctuary node of the Earth, that this would be a sanctuary new Earth. Yeah, inner Earth's grid networks, basically. So remember I said that there was like a magnetic vortex that takes you into hollow Earth here. And that was one of your most favorite things to talk about. So you probably have a whole bunch on that yourself.
No, I never heard of this. Yeah, I never heard of the subglacial crystal chain. That's so interesting. It's cool.
Yeah, it is really interesting. But I think the main thing with this is the Clark crater.
What is
And
that? Like, what does that do? Like, what's the what?
well, I'm calling it a polar basin Genesis sanctuary field.
Okay.
So basically, as the old world systems collapse and new Earth systems come online, if there's ever a need for a migration, and again, this could be what we're seeing, the pre-timelines in this, right? With Trump trying to take over Greenland,
Yeah.
that they're preparing for this in the future, a migration to Greenland. So basically, if anything happens, it's considered a zero distortion field. So you would be protected from radiation. I mean, you're already protected because of this ice sheet. It's a radiation protective shield, the ice sheet in itself. Okay, because it's like doesn't white reflect radiation or like light? There's something in
Yeah,
it with that.
well, black actually absorbs light. Like if you wear black on a sunny day, it'll absorb the black absorbs that light. Maybe I don't know what light does, but I know black of like absorb. They always say don't wear a black T-shirt when it's hot outside when the sun's out because it'll absorb it. You know, so I'm not sure. Might reflect it or something. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's considered a safe zone. Um, and that's where, you can go to be protected from solar radiation storms if it ever gets to that point. If there is a planetary Armageddon, okay, let's say like a comet hits the planet or, something just goes haywire. Basically, every weather and thing that we experience now, picture that times 100. Electrical storms turn into massive radiation solar storms. Tsunamis get even bigger than they already are. You know, the volcanoes go crazy. Basically, you have comets that would stay in our orbit, so they would regularly hit the Earth if it broke up and fragmented in our solar system, like in our magnetosphere, right? It would actually stay locked into it. And so if there's lots of pieces of that comet, hundreds and thousands of, they'll continue to hit the Earth all over the place. So what I mean by this is that it would be a place where you would actually be safe from those things.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's kind of interesting, but it might be the heart of Earth's next world, Greenland, you
Well,
know?
that's
Yeah.
cool. That's yeah.
Yeah, so I mean we start diving into it. It's pretty cool. This is, I guess, the crater, like if it was uncovered, that's about where it's located. Um, and I can show you on my map about where that is at. It's up here, the Hiawatha Glacier, and it's underneath that glacier, basically, in this area.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
such a beautiful area. I would love to have an event up there. That's amazing. Like, I wonder how Ola has those events up there. I mean, it's like it seems like it's such a beautiful place up there. You know, the Arctic. You know,
Definitely cold.
yeah, definitely cold for
For
sure. But you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
so is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I mean, you know, I'm not afraid of. I'm not. You know,
True. True that. Um, well, yeah, should we talk about Iran a little bit too?
sure, sure, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's tune in over here. So we're going down to SS10 location, which is here.
Dora the Explorer with her map.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
me.
kidding. I'm kidding. It's
Dora, Dora, Dora the Explorer. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
No,
No,
I love
I'm
this.
like, no,
I'm
earlier,
glad
no,
that I'm glad that you do this with the maps. It's amazing. You know,
no,
this is
earlier we were looking at New Orleans. You were laughing at me because I got on the map. It's just like you need the visual, you
I
know?
seriously want to do an event. Like something's calling me to New Orleans. Like I'm being called to New Orleans big time. Like I feel like there's something that I need to uncover there. Something that's going to reveal itself to me when I go there. So I think it's all in due timing. Like, but I think I'm meant to go there, and I think I'm going to go there. I just don't know how it's going to happen. But I know something. There's something there for me. I know. I don't know what it is, but like, there's a reason why I have to go there. There's like a higher purpose. I don't know what it is yet. I'm not being told anything, or I'm not being shown anything. But like. I'm definitely being called there for some reason. I don't even know by who or what. It's just
Um,
like I have this like urge to go there and I don't know why.
I'm getting ancestral roots. Yeah. Something with your ancestors coming in 6, 7 generations, needing to expel black magic from the bloodline. Yeah. I mean, it all ties in. I mean, there's probably a lot more to it than just that, but
Yeah.
I'm getting something connected.
That would be cool. I mean, that would be interesting, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, right. SS10, it's reversal governance. It's a force mill hierarchy system. It's trauma-based control. It's Stargate occupation. Um, it's, controlling all the Middle East collective consciousness essentially. And everything ties into this. It's a huge convergence point. You have all the Mesopotamian, Sumerian history, Anunnaki history, Draconian history, Caucasus history, Aryan history, Indus linked Arabian genetics. I mean, it's so woven together. It's so much hybridization trauma here. Um,
How far does Stargate 10 reach over? Does it go all the way over into Syria and Jordan and like Israel?
For sure, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, well, because I think the original SS-10 is the Temple Mount. Or I'm sorry, down here. I'm pointing to Lebanon. I meant the Temple Mount.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that's what I said. The East
You want to
Stargate.
hear something interesting? I have relatives here in Cyprus, believe it or not.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, with it's close to Lebanon. Your ancestors are from Lebanon. That would make
Well,
sense.
my mom, remember, my mom's Greek and Italian, so I have Greek relatives living in Cyprus. So it's like, I'm like from all over that area, you know.
Yeah, that's a real. So you have a lot of extensive, ties to maybe SS-10. You're like, oh shoot, that's why I need to go to New Orleans. Only some voodoo is gonna clear that out.
That's crazy.
I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah. Well, let's see. What I'm getting is like I had a little prophetic moment here. This is oh, not this one. Persepolis. Did I put Persepolis on the map? Yeah, Persepolis. So I had a little prophetic moment where Persepolis in Iran kind of represents old world governance before control Stargate structures happened. So it has like a lot of the ancient Zoroastrian and, old Earth systems. Cyrus the Great, that used to govern. I think Cyrus the Great governed as like actually like a very diplomatic ruler. I
He
could
was a
be
Persian king, yeah.
yeah, yeah, he was like, he brought forward like the first like human rights almost in some ways. Like there's actually like an
I think his son was Darius, or one of his sons was Darius, who was in the Battle of the 300 with the Greeks, like with the famous Battle of the 300. That was his Cyrus's son Darius, because Darius or Xerxes, maybe it was. I can't remember. I gotta.
hmm,
My history's all off. I used to study like that history. I knew, but like
that's so awesome. Yeah, well there's an artifact that, what Cyrus the Great like put it on this it's like in some museum or something, but it was like the original, like don't kill each other and do good to each other type of thing, and kind of brought forth like structures of governments and stuff like this. And I think a lot of this might reside like some of the ancient codes and stuff in Persepolis. So the prophetic vision that I had was that like a future leader will come from Persepolis because Tyran's going to go down. Eventually Tyran's going down. They're so I think this is going to span over the quarantine window, 2025 to 2044, the next 19 years. Sorry, I've been saying 20 on my channel, but it's 19 years. I think we're going through massive Stargate control transfers on the planet, that this is a grid reset zone that's very, very critical mass importance. And they've been in a 14-day, 15-day blackout now, right? Trump is actually asking Elon Musk to activate Starlink over Tehran, going against, the authority of the Ayatollah, and give these people access to the world through the internet. So I don't know, that might be happening right now as we speak, like literally as we speak, like that Starlink is getting activated over Tehran. But, people are getting murdered in the streets. It's really, really bad. They're trying to get their messages out. And so, but of course, everybody's, texting me and messaging me and saying, like, Israel controls Iran. And, it's a part of the greater Israel expansion, which, that very well could be true. Very well could be true. Um, but, I think eventually, though, we're looking in the next 20 years, some sort of leader coming forward from Persepolis that's going to take over as this government falls. And I think it's going to be a woman in like 19 years. It's going to be a female. They're going to go complete matriarchy. That's my prediction when it comes to them. But, besides Persepolis, another thing that I picked up on was Mount Damavad. I thought this was really significant. Let me let me tune in. Oh shoot. Sorry. Sometimes this gets squirrely. Let me just go like this. Yeah, this is like actually very refreshing after knowing like all the like harsh dark energies that are there and like to see that there's actually like a mountaintop that it's retaining its natural snow. It's like, oh, the light just comes in through the grids like, ah. So I think this is a 12D shield, honestly, that's stabilizing the tectonic plate and also the emotional density buildup that's there. There's so much abuse and misuse on this land. It's the blood spillage is so deep that, I think that places like this will kind of be like purification pillars. And my prediction is over the next 5 years that there might be pressure fractures that lead up here, and there'll be like a lot of like this actually might, you know, um like blow like the volcano. Like the volcano is going to have to purify this land here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was another thing that I picked up on that's happening. And there was another location here. This was actually a lot closer to the Stargate. And it was Cyrus the Great that took over. He conquered Babylon, and that's why he was like, yeah, awesome. Oh, yeah, this is Chaga Zanbil Ziggurat. That's a mouthful.
Oh, it's a ziggurat. It's a ziggurat temple then.
Yes, yes. So I think this is very significant.
See how far you can zoom in.
I'm trying. It's a lot of clicking my zoom in button,
That's insane.
right?
It'd be funny if
Wow.
you saw someone
Do
like
you,
hang
do
out
you
there
feel
holding.
energy coming out of there already? Because I do.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, yeah.
Wow, yeah, look at that. So
You know what else that could be? A landing pad for the Anunnaki. You know, that could be a landing pad for aliens or something.
totally, totally. But I also think that well, I think it's a universal tree of life node, if that makes sense. So yeah, it would tie into the Anunnaki.
There's a figure carved into the top of it too, which is insane. Do you see this? Tell me you see this right here. You see where my mouse is? Right here. There's his head right here. There's an arm here. I took an edible before this too, but I mean, yeah. But I
It's
mean,
funny
like
that
seriously, I see this. Like okay, sorry. Maybe there's not. I don't know.
Rob, did you get the
It's
meme
very
that
interesting to say
no,
the
did you
least.
get the meme that I sent you earlier where the lady was dancing and the song was all, I took the drugs and the drugs are working. I took the drugs. It was a funny video that I sent Rob, guys. It was just for all jokes and giggles.
Yeah, it's all good.
It was like an old lady really dancing, kind of funny.
Wait,
Um
did you send? I don't know if you sent that to. I don't know. Wait, I gotta check my messages.
it was four scores and 7 years ago. So yeah. I think honestly, I think this is like also an inner Earth Hall system. It's kind of like an Amenti zone, is what I'm just picking up with this is that there's like Amenti tunnels here, kind of like the Sphinx. Um, yeah, I'm getting like blue light come up in my third eye as I say that, so I think I'm going right into it, to be honest with you. Um, I'm seeing that, yeah, it has like an Amenti hall system, inner earth system. I see that it's preserved for specific priest lines. I also see there's like a lot of celestial oversight council here as well, like as if it's some sort of celestial secret meeting place, because I'm almost getting that it's like abandoned. A lot of it's abandoned. Um, hmm. Yeah, it's still like a living archive, but to the outer world, it looks like it's abandoned or broken down, but not quite intact. That's what I'm kind of getting from that. But I think it has a lot to do with the Stargate rehabilitation of Aryan. So, I have so many charts though, where I had like Babylon charted, I had ancient Uruk charted. So it would be nice to look at that in relativity to everything else, but it's okay. We can look at it another time. Iran is actually a lot to get into, I think. But yeah, in terms of like, everything that's going to kind of shift and change the world on the next big level of the global stage, it's going to be here, you guys. It's going to be in Iran, and it's also going to be in Greenland right now. So we got to keep our eyes peeled between Greenland and Iran because this is where, the next big thing in the headlines is going to surface, probably before the end of January. We're going to see some sort of movement in Iran that's big, that shifts and shakes us all, and some sort of movement in Greenland as well. And I think it's going to happen quickly, to be honest with you, especially with Greenland, because Trump's already to the point that he's playing that empire archetype.
Holy shit! Look how big Greenland is. Holy shit! It's massive compared to the look, here's like our United States right here, right? Like look how
Yeah,
big Greenland is. Holy shit! Greenland's like as big as like the whole North America.
totally.
Holy shit! It might be. I mean, like it's huge, right?
It is huge. It's huge. And it governs so much. I mean, it governs the polar shifts. It governs solar, interactions. It governs the ice ages. It governs our timelines. Like anything that happens here, it's going to completely change history. It's really like, yeah. This is a battle for the crown of the earth, is what this is. Like this is like it's truly prophetic what's happening right now with Trump. And
Yeah.
this goes back. I mean, it wasn't just Trump. This was also Truman spoke about this. They've been talking about acquiring Greenland since 1867, 1910, 1946, 1955. Uh, Secretaries of State William H. Seward, James F. Burns, Vice President Nelson Rockefeller, Truman, and a lot of others. It was after World War II that they offered to buy Greenland, and that didn't happen. So now Trump is trying to reactivate this American expansionism policy. Um, because to them, they can set up well, first they're going to go in and set up the government or the military, basically. Install all of their early warning systems, all of their satellite pathways, their Starlink, their robots, their space cars, you know,
Yeah.
their digital ID,
Yeah.
their
Right.
their needlecraft technology. They're going to make sure everything is there, ready to go.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, get the Russians and the Chinese out of the waters, get all of their Arctic defense positioning in line, and then, you know, then they're just going to probably stand and wait because they're trying to compete for the orbital dominance of the northern polar region. I mean, that's what that's really about. I mean, if they claim that I think this is about wanting to give it to Russia, to be honest with you. I don't think this has a lot to do with China. I think this is about Trump going head to head with Putin. You know,
I thought they were boys.
they are, but boys will be best friends and then go out and beat the shit out of each other and then be best friends again the next
That is
day.
true. That is true. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, so are we watching that? You know? Um, so yeah, but this is key right now. This is really key. It's the crown. You can see how high it is, right? How north it is. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Man.
that's my
So
breakdown
where's
today.
where's Alaska at? Where's Alaska?
Alaska's here.
Man, you're down with this needle. I mean, not needle. You got me thinking needlecraft technology. I said you're down with this map stuff. You just put a pin in it and everything. That's so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
But
Oh,
so
I've been charting maps for a long time. I have
so
like hundreds of maps.
well, interesting how Alaska connects to Asia. You know, like it's like is that a land bridge going from that can't be there has
Totally.
to be ocean there, right?
Totally.
What the that is so oh man, that is
Yeah, I think we touch, honestly. Or there's like an island in the middle.
yeah.
See a little island here.
See, what I honestly think, and
I wonder what happens on this island, to be honest with you.
Renetta used to talk about Pangea, that like the Earth used to be one big place at once, and then it got, it got separated. Do you believe that as well? Do you
Oh,
think
that this got separated here?
no, that the whole Earth got separated? Like it was once Earth was once Pangea, like it was one big continent, and then for whatever reason, I guess weather or whatever, like the continents started splitting apart, and somebody said you can go look at a map and you can like take the continents and you can piece them together and they'll fit together like puzzle pieces, showing the Earth.
Yeah, I think it's true. And I think it ties in with the electric wars and the Hyperborean gate and um that well, if you want to know the truth, I mean, I think that was probably the original Tiamat ley line system, bone structure intact, right? And then it broke up, and then that's considered the dragon eggs, the dragon eggs, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, so
I'm looking at the chat. I'm not looking down. I'm looking at the chat on my phone because since we're screen sharing, I can't see the chat. So I have it on my phone. I was seeing what people said. And Kelly said I'm able to multitask. She said she's never seen someone in real time multitask 50 different things because people were wondering if I was watching the game. I said I could not watch the game. I was like, I would be too. It's too intense. Like I don't even really care. I mean, like it's I don't know. It's
yeah, okay, Kelly is hilarious. She
mm.
said people who can do these maps and put this stuff together blow my mind. I'm lucky I can put a meatloaf together.
She's great. That's the girl I told you. She's from Pittsburgh. She's a big fan of yours. She's
That's
like
hilarious. Oh,
she
Kelly, yeah, hey girl. Hey, I love it. I would love some meatloaf. We'll exchange. How about that? Yeah. No, yeah, Rob, you do multitask. I try not to take it personal.
That's
When
just my. It's like I have like ADD. I'm always like I'm like ADD all the time. My mind's going to like 50 different places. You know what I mean? Like I can't help it. It's not something that I want to do. It's just the way I function. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like and part of me I think like likes it. Like I like to be involved in like a lot of different stuff at once. Like I don't know.
yeah.
Like
Well, yeah, I mean, you're used to working your multi-dimensional like brain receptors. Like I'm the same way.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't it's really hard to slow down sometimes and just focus on one simple thing, but
yeah,
yeah. But you got to sometimes when it comes
yeah,
to your health and
yeah. I agree.
meditation and
Yeah.
because I don't think it's good for us to always be wired like the way, the AI brains are wired. I feel like that's what on some level like we're having to keep up with, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's just not the way we're naturally we're ebb and flow, we're cycles, we're up and down, we're ascension and descension.
Yeah.
You know, we're go fast and then rest. We wake up and then we sleep. On off.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
the
agree.
that's the
Yeah.
human condition.
It's
Yeah.
it sucks we have to sleep, That'd be so much more time we got to be alive, Like I wonder if I don't know. Like, I mean, like I like to stay awake a lot, the only time I sleep is when I'm depressed. Like when I'm really I mean like, I don't know. Like
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop sharing my map now. So, yeah, you can see and hear me okay?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot, I know, but I think it's exciting to keep up on it on a grid work level to pay attention to all these vortices because I think they become more significant as the current events play out, and then we can go back and like reference this work, when new things happen and actually understand and kind of see how it plays out in terms of the grid, how the consciousness of the earth, it really awakens you to the fact that, you know, we're like a secondary reactive consciousness to according to what's actually happening on the earth itself. The earth is dictating everything at the same time, just as much as like the universe and um, divine alignment, divine fate, or however you want to call it. Like I think it enacts and interacts with the stargates and the vortices way before on a subatomic level, on a quantum level, on a spiritual level, before it's ever interacting like in our reality consciously, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that what's happening with Trump is that whether he's conscious or unconscious, I think he's a part of that divine plan, and everything that's occurring is, even though it seems like really crazy to the normie, but, to someone like him who's involved at the head of the snake, so to speak, with all this other globalist, and all of the people who are, financially invested in the New World Order, the elitist, technocratic, billionaire, uh, global team, essentially, that, you know, that there's a part of his consciousness that's actually still staying in a pure place and acting upon that. I really hope that that's true,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I mean, like even just talking to you about Greenland, like I feel like how does that make you feel when you think about that? Like us acquiring Greenland, how does that make you feel? Is that is that like, oh yay, or is it like, oh, like what is
I don't really have any
what do you
thoughts about it.
intuitively
I gotta learn more. Like I learned a lot tonight from you about the esoteric implications of it, and I think that's big enough. But I just wonder if Trump is doing it for that, or if he has a other reason why he wants to go in there. It might be about strategic land. He might want that because his position is a certain place. It might be for gold. It might be for oil. You know what I mean? It could be for a lot of things. So I mean, but usually, what have we learned about the people in charge? They do things because there's always multiple reasons why they do it. It could be gold, oil, location, all the esoteric stuff you talked about tonight. It could be like a plethora of things. And he's like, we got to go there. That's it. And that's, I don't know. I'm just kind of, because that's one thing every time they do stuff, they have multiple reasons for doing it. People in government.
yeah.
So,
way I've been kind of seeing it is like the Greenlander people, they kind of remind me of like the indigenous in some ways, like native to the land. Um, a lot of them are, a lot of the communities seem to be like brown skinned and things like this. Like they have like um, like a very indigenous like nature to them. I'd have to look more into, who are the Greenland people.
let me
But
look it up. Let me see what it.
but like,
I mean,
what do they feel about this? Like, do they like are their voices just getting squashed in the iceberg? You know, in the igloo? Tommy Edwards is building igloos. He got an igloo builder for his birthday. That was hilarious.
okay, so here's what it says. It says Greenland's inhabitants, around 56,000 people, are predominantly Inuit, which that's some kind of native. But it says it's Inuit with Danish or European, with a smaller European, mostly Danish minority, living along the ice-free coast in a few towns like the capital Nuuk. Descendants of these Thule migrants, they're Thule migrants who arrived centuries ago. They maintain antique Arctic survival skills, but face modern challenges alongside free healthcare, extensive LGBTQ rights. What? And an increasing
Because of Europe. It's because of
no.
Europe.
Oh, and it says an increasing renewable energy use, such as Greenland functions as autonomous territory. So yeah, you can tell they're linked to Denmark. I don't know
Yeah.
because of the Danish population. Like you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's something more. There's something seriously going on there though. Like there's definitely we need to keep looking into this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. This is one I think we'll keep checking up on. What do you think?
I absolutely think so because
Yeah.
I think more than meets the eye is happening, you know. And I
Yep,
think you
absolutely.
scratched the deep surface of it tonight as to what's really going on there, but I think there's maybe even more, you know.
Yeah.
But you'll
Yeah.
find out because you always do.
Yeah. I'm an investigator.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Well, hey,
So,
this was great. Did there anything else you wanted to share before we go tonight, or what?
I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else you think I should share?
No, no, I think that's good. I mean, just your website and all that stuff. Anything you want to promote, and your
Yeah.
book. Tell them about your book
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. Well, my book is gonna be officially launched on 2/22/26, and we'll put maybe the links down in the description of
It's
this
in
video.
there already. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, and yeah, everything you guys want to know, grid work from beginner to expert levels, Stargate mechanics, New Earth prophecy. I have like a whole chapter that's just like grid work deep dives, like all the ones I've kind of done up until this point. So you can like really go through and learn just from that as well, which is really helpful. Full color, full picture, 840 pages plus. Like it's a textbook, a historical document. I'm really excited, so I can't wait. So yeah, now's the time to pre-order because it's majorly discounted.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I think it's yeah, and I think it's well worth it, guys. You're gonna get like a grid work slash galactic, you know, like I don't know, a diction. You know, what would you call it? Like a like a Bible, like a galactic Bible, like right?
Yeah, basically. Really,
Channeled from the
really.
Guardian Alliance, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I've worked with many of the different nations and systems.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, the six founder nations, and then also a lot of the nations that haven't taken public roles, such as the Hydra system. I get into like the Hydra Draco Wars and the original Stargate hijacks. That ties into a lot of the forest breeder program stuff. So I have like extensive chapter on forest breeder programs. And all the research that I've done with that over the years. So, and then all of the feminine and masculine implant systems as well, like all of my original work that is going to be in there from all of my coursework. So if you've taken like my implant and seal removal courses, and uh, any of my grid work courses, all of the like PDFs and original graphic designs for everything. It's in the book. So it's literally like all of my courses in one too. Um, so yeah, you can find that at IndigoAngel222.com under my shop tag and page, and it should be there. It's also linked on the front homepage as well if you would like to order it. So yeah, it's so exciting. Thank you for supporting me with this, Rob. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And thank you guys. And yeah, I will see you guys. Actually, I don't think I have any shows tomorrow unless somebody contacts me and wants to do a show. I think I'm off, but I might do a call-in show tomorrow night or something. Maybe we'll do a call-in show. But if I do a call-in show, we'll do it like where we'll announce it beforehand. So like we get some people to call in and stuff. And yeah, and that's
I
it,
think your
guys.
call-in shows are great. They're really good. I mean, you get some really interesting people calling in. Like,
Hopefully, yeah, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow for sure. Yeah, I'll do a call-in show tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. I thank you. I like that. Like, thank you. I love doing them. You know, I really do. So, you know, I'm hoping we get some people. I mean, I was kind of disappointed because we didn't get a lot of calls last time. You know, it's weird. Like some nights we'll get like call after call after call, and then other nights it's not so much. You know, so it just, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Um, yeah, guys, well, be sure to donate to Rob as well because he does so much work, seriously, to run this channel. And so much work goes on behind the scenes, so much emailing and networking and calling. I said this on your birthday night, but really, truly, you work so, so hard. And you know, this is your livelihood. I know people understand that, but I like to say it and just vouch for you as well that people can donate to you at your PayPal and your Venmo and your Cash App and all those things to keep you running and keep you alive. And I think you did well with a lot of amazing birthday donations. That was so amazing
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hear.
Thank you to everybody who showed up and turned out and like and donated. Yeah, thank you. I don't know if I got a chance to thank everybody, but yeah, thank you guys. And it was amazing. We had an amazing show yesterday. If you guys didn't see the birthday show, check it out. It was really fun. We had a blast. And maybe we'll do that more. We'll have to do that for your birthday next year too. We'll do one for your birthday and my birthday. Like we'll yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that was awesome.
All right. Well, thanks, Indy, and I'll be talking to you soon. And thank you, everybody, and have a good night, everybody. Bye,
Bye.
guys.